Welcome to the Wholesome Music Podcast, everyone.
It is the DIY podcast
About DIY music. My name is Augustus Watkins, pronouns he, she, they. I am a musician, a songwriter. I co-own a record label, and I do and we do music services. The record label is called Give Take. The music services, including traditional PR, is called Cocaine Opera. We're here based in Los Angeles, and this is my friend Cameron.
My name is Cam LJ. You're here with us at Secret Spot DTLA, where downtown Los Angeles is co-working space for creatives.
Hey, wait. What did you just put up on Instagram about how it's the gym for creatives?
Yes. So, because we're a membership model,
Yeah.
we literally function like a gym for creatives. So if you're like trying to work out your creative muscles, this is the place. This is the place to come in weekly, like create a routine to rehearse. I think that's one of the biggest things to me. It's like for artists, I know it's a little sidetrack here, but like for artists, oftentimes I think it's so easy to forget that music is a muscle.
Yeah.
Creativity is a muscle, whether you're here to do photography, podcasting, recording, whatever it is that you're doing, getting in and building a weekly regular practice. Think of us like that. Think of us like your gym for creatives.
Love that. That's so cool.
Yes.
That's so cool. I put you on the spot about that, but I saw that on Instagram earlier today. Very, very cool. We have a very exciting show.
Yes, we do.
First things first, as promised, this is part 2 of our How Musicians Get Paid series.
Yes, it is.
Today we're going to talk about publishing.
It's the big pub app.
How songwriters get paid.
Yes.
Next, that goes. We kind of went 2 segments on that, right?
We did.
We talked about how the overview of it, and then
We got nitty gritty, dived into the deep end.
the deep end about publishing deals specifically. Next, hey, you know what?
What's that?
We went through an episode without AI.
We went through the entire episode without AI.
Holy shit!
That's right.
And there was a little bit of news out there, but I just there was more.
Well, there was no rage bait for Augustus
no,
this week.
there was not. We made it through a whole episode
Without AI.
Dang, we did not make it through, unfortunately, an episode without talking about fucking Spotify.
That's true.
But I will take the win. This might be our first episode that's entirely AI free,
Except for this,
in terms
this
of content.
mention right here.
Yeah, so this is exciting.
This is us still talking about AI.
But we're talking about how we're not talking. I'm gonna get that's a pass. Don't play me like that. Okay, Spotify is being accused in a lawsuit of engaging in Payola. We're going to talk about what Payola is and whether this
counts.
Yeah,
I think it does.
I
Spoiler.
think so too. The Irish. This one makes you very happy. The Irish government is going to pay musicians basic income of $325 a week.
I can feel the universal basic income sunshine rays beaming under my face.
We did some math to talk about how much that actually is.
Yes,
Spoiler.
and it's more than you think.
It's significant.
It's real.
And then I think the other thing
We talked a little bit about Kanye.
Okay, we're gonna
we'll throw it in.
Then we talked about Kanye. He has issued an apology, of the public apology. He was there, like very contrite, with a hat on, holding hands with a rabbi.
Yep.
We're gonna do a reaction to that and talk about
that was a moment.
and then we're gonna talk about what this apology might mean or might not mean for the various communities impacted by Kanye's horrendous behavior and rhetoric.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
That is what we did.
So we're going to get into it now that we got another episode coming up for you.
Yeah, that's right.
We're pitching fastballs, baby.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go.
If you recall, last week we began our odyssey into how you actually get paid for your music.
Yes. How are you gonna monetize?
So briefly, just to recap, because it's just one of those fundamental things. As always, there are 2 buckets to payments, right? They are
the master side, like sound recording, and then you've got publishing side.
And that's what we're going to talk about today is the publishing side. So we're going to talk from the perspective of like a songwriter. And so if you are a like many DIY indie artists, if you're like, I sing my own songs.
Yeah, absolutely. You're doing originals.
You're both.
You're a writer and a performer.
So today we're going to talk about the perspective of a songwriter. So this is still like, if you're like, I'm a singer-songwriter, I go and I play my own stuff. This pertains to you. Or if you're like, if you want to get into the business of like, I just want to write songs for other people, this pertains to you. How do you get paid for your publishing?
Yeah. So let's get into it.
There's 2 main things to this. And I think we'll break down a little bit as we talk about it, but the two kind of main places that you get paid are, of course, the MLC,
Yep.
which fewer people know about.
Mechanical license, because it's newer, right?
Yeah.
The MLC is like within the last 10 years.
Yeah, since like 2021. And then, of course, the PROs.
Absolutely.
So,
which is, for America, we've got ASCAP and we've got BMI, and then there's CSAC, but that's more larger.
And then there's also smaller, and then there's also GMR.
Yes.
Which is I hadn't heard of GMR.
I hadn't heard of that.
So this is a very exclusive. It's like even more exclusive than CSAC. So ASCAP and BMI are the ones that like anybody can join. CSAC and GMR are invite only.
Okay.
So GMR is like a boutique PRO.
Interesting. I wonder how many people they represent.
We could look into it, but it's like they have some big names. I happen to recall as I was looking, because I was like, what's GMR? Bruce Springsteen, for instance. Is
Okay. That's kind of cool. Some legacies.
Yeah, so it's like household names are on there.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's like tiny, but it's tiny in terms of like they collect a little bit higher royalties because they're
more exclusive.
Yeah, they negotiate differently.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, how do we want to say this? Let's talk about what a PRO, and then we'll cover PRO. We'll cover MLC, and then we'll kind of talk about publishing deals, I think, if we have time.
That makes a lot of sense.
PROs, which PRO are you?
I'm with ASCAP.
Okay.
I've been with ASCAP for a long time.
Okay, me too. A lot of people I know are BMI.
BMI is great, and BMI has a bunch of like artist perks. BMI has a bunch of like fun integrations, like there used to be the ASCAP I Create Music Conference.
Yeah.
And there's kind of like a BMI version of that.
Okay.
So I know there are a bunch of like integrations for artists who are on BMI. I don't really feel like there's a better one than the other.
No.
I feel like they're both really fucking great.
Traditionally, BMI was what does BMI stand
Broadcast.
for? Broadway.
I thought it was broadcast.
And then musicians. And then ASCAP is, while you look that up, then ASCAP is what? American Society of Composers and Performers?
Yes.
So traditionally, like you said, like they kind of both more or less do the same thing.
Broadcast Music Inc.
Oh, okay. Broadcast. Traditionally, like if you're a songwriter, traditionally you would have wanted to have been on ASCAP.
Yeah.
But these days
it's both.
Yeah.
You know, I think both offer a super, super competitive product.
Yep.
Ultimately, they're both going to track where your songs are being played and get you paid for
Do you
that.
remember why you joined ASCAP originally?
I think I actually joined because when I was in college, I wrote for this thing called NSAI, which is the Nashville Songwriters. So I think that was just kind of like the track that was easiest to me. And it was like the name that I was most affiliated with. I think at the time, because
NSAI is affiliated with ASCAP.
With ASCAP.
Yeah.
So I think also at the time when I looked at, this isn't true anymore, but when I looked at the BMI site then, it felt a little bit older. It felt like
I remember that.
Yeah, it had like this 90s vibe to it. And I'm like, ASCAP seems more modern, seems more like me. And so I went with them for that reason. But since obviously their site has been updated, all of those same resources have been kind of like brought into the modern era.
Yeah. So I joined ASCAP because it was cheaper at the time to
Yeah.
join. And I think it might still be. But the label's on BMI. So I get to work in both
Kind of both worlds.
And they're equivalent products. They just kind of have like, there's like, when I'm not doing stuff on ASCAP, sometimes I'm like tearing my hair out. And then when I'm doing stuff on BMI, sometimes I'm like
tearing my hair out.
Yeah, toaster bathing.
Yeah. Yes. Very relatable.
So what are the two things, one of the things you quickly get into when you're setting up your PRO world is there's actually two sides to your PRO, right? There's the songwriter and then the company. What do they call that?
Publishing.
Yeah. So can you briefly kind of break down? So we're inside. So like we're the two buckets of how you get paid. Now we're inside the PRO side, and inside of the PRO there are two sides to
there's writing
every
and publishing.
Song. Yeah.
And you will write let's say you wrote a song. Are you going to be the one who is publishing that song?
Yep.
Are you working with a publisher?
Yep.
Are you signed to a publisher? Do you have a pub deal? Or are you your own publishing company? Like for me, I have my own publishing company.
What's your publishing company name?
MX Prod.
Nice. Mine is Fraternal Order of Warlocks.
Yes, I love that. But yeah, you'll create.
So you can just set up your own.
Yeah, set up your own. Because essentially, if you don't, you're not going to collect about 50% of your revenue.
Well, not about you're not going to.
It's not about it's exactly, but yeah. So if you don't do it, you're just losing money.
Yep.
And especially for independent artists, artists who don't have a publishing company, aren't working with a publisher, like aren't signed to a pub deal, then this is a really, like, you should be doing this.
Yeah.
You should absolutely be creating a publishing company and like using that.
This is like really basic. So, and when you're inside of your, I know a lot of people use like TuneCore and DistroKid. When you're inside of there, there are places for you to fill in that information.
Yes, for you to put your publishing company,
because that information goes out. And then that's how they like. That's how those are connected to like your ISRCs, which is like kind of like barcodes or codes for your songs.
For your individual song identifying number.
Those songs are like in a central database, and then that's how they figure out kind of who got played where and how you're going to get those royalties.
How do we track where your song was played? And this is the way.
So before we get into the publishing deals, which I think is really cool, I think that one of the things that's worth noting. No, first we'll talk about LMC. So watch this transition.
Yes.
One of the things that we're gonna do. This might be a long transition, but I think I can do it.
I'm ready.
One of the things that's worth noting is that in order to run a business or a place that publicly plays music, you need to have a licensing agreement.
Yes, you
with
do.
ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, and JMR. If you don't,
you're in, like, it's on you. Like, essentially anytime you play music, you're not gonna be like counted as playing the songs. You could also get like fined.
They'll come after you.
You could get fined for real.
Yeah. Did I tell the story on the podcast or just between you about the coffee shop or the venue that had a no covers policy?
Tell us again.
Okay, so this is many years ago. A really very cool shout out to Wusos in Duluth, Minnesota, who many years ago didn't have agreements with the ASCAP and BMI.
Yeah, didn't have.
And so they had to perform at the coffee shop. They could do performances, and they had a very strict like no covers policy. But of course, over the years, people would just play a cover, right?
Yeah.
And so they occasionally over the years somebody would play a cover, and occasionally somebody would record that cover, put it on YouTube.
Yes.
And now ASCAP, I think it was ASCAP, went online, found that all these covers were being performed at this venue, saw that this venue didn't have a license, and based on the evidence of YouTube videos, came after the venue. The venue for
of course. Yeah. And I bet they got billed with like hundreds of, or at least tens of thousands of dollars. At least.
Yeah. So that's like, I know that kind of sounds a little bit draconian, but the idea is, this is why we like going back to last week's discussion about like publisher, the guys whose music was being played in cafes. The idea is, well, you don't have to play my music in your cafe.
No, you could play.
You could play royalty-free music.
Absolutely.
You could have your stepson playing the recorder.
You could, as long as it's not covers.
Right.
Your stepson could play the recorder playing original songs.
Yes, original songs. Yeah, or like public, like Hot Cross Buns is in fact public domain now.
You could go back into the
but because you chose to play
copyrighted music,
you have to get a license for that. And that's the thing is, you can choose to get a license for it.
Yeah.
There is, see if I have the word for it, but
I think it's just a performance
rights.
Yeah, I think it's a performance rights license.
So this is
performing rights license.
Non-perfunctory. You don't have to get this license. However, this is where the transition comes. All of that was to say this transition, which I think you should appreciate.
Boom.
The MLC covers compulsory licensing.
Yes.
So you don't have to get a license or do like from a venue side to deal with the MLC.
Yes.
But as a performer,
as an artist,
as a songwriter,
yes,
you still need to register with the MLC. So do you know what the MLC collects?
It's Mechanical Licensing
Collective.
Mechanical Licensing Collective. So they collect your mechanical rights, your mechanical royalties, essentially.
Specifically for physical streaming ringtones.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes, I do.
And then foreign mechanical.
Yeah.
And as we mentioned, there's like all this stuff is covered by international treaties. So when you're getting streamed in Mexico, it does come back to you eventually. It takes longer, but it will come back to you. So the MLC was set up in like 2021.
Yeah.
And before that, this stuff wasn't being collected.
No.
The rates for this are set by Congress. And
they do a ton of advocacy as well.
Yes, they do.
The MLC has done an incredible job with just like music advocacy and getting some like boots on the ground for us.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, they're like, so number one is you got your song up on TuneCore or DistroKid or CD Baby or Symphonic or
wherever
Lander, and so you think I've got all the money I'm going to get is going to come to me. That's not true, right?
No, it is not.
So as a songwriter, let's say I wrote a song and you were performing it. So
oh wow, that's a bad choice for you.
It's a bad choice for you too. So because all my songs are just hot cross bun remixes. So
we're not even gonna be able to license it.
So yeah. So I wrote a song, you're performing it, right? So now from my perspective, I need to register my song with my PRO, which happens to be ASCAP. I self-administer. We're going to get to that in a second. I don't have a publishing deal. So I'm just going to register myself as the publishing company and as the songwriter. So I get 100% of that, because you're not going to collect on the publishing side of my song.
No,
because you're just performing.
The only situation where that would happen is if, say, you wrote it, I performed it, and we were distributing it through, say, MX Prod, and then you wanted to retain, we could make an agreement.
Oh, that's your license.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the only time when you would really have like a split with your publishing. So either like, hey, Augustus, I'm going to sign you.
Yeah.
You're going to be an MX Prod artist.
Yeah.
And, or like, hey, I just want to work with you on this individual song. I'm going to help you. I'm going to distribute it through me. And, you know, maybe I'll give you 50% of your publishing back. So we're at a 50-50 split.
But I wouldn't do that.
No, we would not do that.
I would that's like a deal that somebody offered me that deal. Like for the most part, I've not taken that deal.
Yeah, no.
But that, like when you get more leverage when there's bigger artists, like if I wrote a song, I know this happens. If I like write a song and it's going to end up like on like a Jay-Z verse, like they'll do shit like that. Cause they're like, well, do you want your money? Do you want your song on a Jay-Z verse or not? And like, you're like, well, I guess I do. So
I'm going to take 10% of your pub or 50% or 100%.
And you'll just get that. And that happens. But like as an indie deal, you won't get that. So there's one other, I want to talk about pub deals. Let's reset and come back and do that.
Absolutely.
All right. Really quickly, we kind of want to talk about what a publishing deal is and how they work. So the first one, I think, just to get out of the way, we already mentioned, is the self-managing, which is to say there is no pub deal.
Yeah.
There's no third party involved.
Yes.
You're just...
it's you.
Yeah. You're just Fraternal Order of Warlocks, just collecting all your money. You're going to bat for yourself. You're just making it happen.
You're doing all the legwork yourself.
There are. Let's talk about a traditional publishing deal.
Okay.
So what's this is like a Nashville deal.
Traditional publishing deal would be I'm signing. If I'm the publisher, I'm signing a writer to me. I'm going to now take your publishing. That's really how I'm going to get paid, is through your publishing, but I'm going to provide you something back. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you, whether that's through sync deals, whether that's through, maybe I've got some industry connections where I can help you, get your music placed in other ways, utilize your catalog in different ways, and help you make more money than you're already making.
And you're also going to give me, most crucially, an advance.
Yeah, maybe. I might in 2025. I might not. You might not get an advance with your pub deal.
Yeah,
like it's possible that you sign a great pub deal with like the Orchard. And the Orchard is not giving you an advance. They're just agreeing to represent your music. Maybe even I've seen pub deals where it's things like, I'm gonna put your music on Vivo. I have special channels of distribution. And so that's the value of our pub deal, and it's not coming with an advance. So I would just be cautious about the pub deals that you're signing.
So traditionally, you would get a. So this is like, all right, I'm going like, so for those of you who are experienced in the Nashville world, which is pretty different from the New York or LA world.
Yes.
The Nashville world, like you go to LA, you go to Nashville. You're a musician. They'll ask you, are you a writer or an artist?
Yes.
That's like the first thing they're going to ask you, right? And so if you're a writer, what you're trying to do is to go get yourself a pub deal, which is traditionally they're going to give you some stipend, some amount of money that you keep forever.
That's your money, free and clear.
And then let's restate that. It's usually it's
your money that you still need to pay back.
It's an advance
that you still need to pay back. So it's the check will clear, but it's not for free.
Yeah, I know somebody who was a writer on staff in Nashville in the 90s.
Oh, that's a great gig, staff writer.
And had a pub deal like that, and just his career just didn't happen.
Yeah,
it didn't. He's
didn't pan out the way we thought it was.
No, he's got some cuts here or there, but he's left Nashville. He's just returned back living
independent.
Yeah, living his own. He's not really in the music industry anymore.
Okay,
and so occasionally like he'll get a cut or like something will happen.
Yeah,
but he hasn't had like the thing that would make him a hit songwriter.
Yeah. Which is a lot of people.
Yes, most people it's not. So occasionally he'll see like a thing that's like, oh yeah, I'm like I got a song. It's like a pretty there's a pretty like he's got some songs that from how I've heard it are like they're kind of gaunt. They're like what do they call them in where there's scripts that are like people like in Hollywood but haven't been made,
like shelved.
Like this like they're like cool cuts that like just never been recorded. So he's got supposedly a couple of these songs that kind of get bounced around. Like people have heard them like that are like, oh, this is a cool song. Play them out live, try them a little bit, but just hasn't got that cut. Yeah. And so he's occasionally like because of that he's got a little bit of reputation, and so
that's cool.
It'll get and like his old happens to be that I'm going to go way off track, but it's an interesting story.
No, it's a beautiful story.
It happens to be that his former partner made it huge. Like Faith
cool.
and Tim are flying him out to their private island.
Wow.
Like he's huge now. And so
did you say Faith and Tim?
Yeah.
As in like Faith Hill and Tim McGraw?
Yeah. Yeah. Like
I love that. I'm sorry. I just had to make sure because I didn't know we were on first name terms.
That's how it is for him. That's how it is for him.
Are flying me out.
he's writing for Kenny. Like he's like
Kenny Chesney.
Yeah, that's how it is for him.
That's cool.
And so because of this, his songs do get kind of get into rooms that they wouldn't otherwise get into. So occasionally
they get shopped around.
Yeah. So occasionally like he'll be like last quarter my song made $1,200, but I still I haven't paid I'm nowhere near paying off my advance.
Yeah, no.
So that all goes to my publisher, and that's
where the money's going.
But still to this day, because he does own those songs, are like the deal is a lifetime deal, and it wouldn't have had to have been, but my understanding it was for him.
Yeah.
Sometimes these songs they can revert after 10 years or 15 years.
Absolutely.
Or 30 years.
You got options on your deal. Maybe we do like we sign it for 10 years, but then we have a number of years optioned out. So after that, like if there's some still money coming in, we can still extend our contract out for you. Otherwise, we can do something in perpetuity where we own it forever.
So his stuff is like the idea is like at the point where they're going to give him his songs back, they're probably like. At this point, evidence would suggest that these are not going to get cut, so they're willing to just let it go.
Yeah.
So that's a publishing deal. That's a traditional publishing deal, kind of similar to this. Okay, so you kind of mentioned something about like, oh, it's 2025, blah blah blah. The publishing, like a lot of the music industry, has really shifted.
Yes, it's changed,
and so there's kind of this new thing called co-publishing.
Yes, a co-pub deal,
which is. What? How would you describe a co-pub
Why don't you explain this? Because I feel like you could explain this a little better than I could.
Yeah, I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No.
The thing is, like, and you know a lot of this stuff, but we don't rehearse this stuff. So.
No, this is one that I'm like, okay, co-publishing deal is probably where you share publishing.
It's exactly
like
it.
So, but I feel like you got more details.
No,
here.
that's exactly it. It's like this would be like once you're a songwriter of some renown who has some leverage. So like probably not so much like the person who I was talking about who like doesn't really have any leverage.
Yeah.
But his partner who's on a first name basis with Tim and Faith and Kenny
could definitely do a co-pub deal.
He could do at this point like his deal might be he'll say he had a 5-year deal and so now he's on. He's big. He's a known person. Like people are calling him to be in session. So now his pub deal could be, for instance, a co-pub deal because he has some leverage where he could say, "All right, I'm willing to get a publishing deal so that you can get me in rooms and you could administer and do all the things that a publisher does. But because I'm a songwriter, I've won a Grammy or two,
and I come with my own brand.
Yeah.
You're not really going to be doing the work that you would do with a brand new writer, with someone who's like, hey, look, I think we could get your songs out there.
Trying to get in
we
rooms.
Could place you.
Yeah.
We'll build you as a writer.
Right.
And for that, we'll take 100% of your pub.
Right.
If you're coming at me, you're like, look, I'm already going to be in these rooms. I'm already doing these numbers. Having me on your roster is valuable. Maybe you're only going to get 50% of the publishing.
Right. So that's kind of a co-pub. And that could be like, and it doesn't have to be 50%. This is one of those things.
Could be
80, 10, 80, 20,
80,
90,
20, 70, 30.
Yeah.
It could be any 100%.
37,
You figured that out.
63.
That's right.
So that's like basically just
3763. Get out of here.
right. 41.
Nothing. 41, nothing. I don't do math on the spot. That's not what I'm here for. You don't hire me for that.
Now there is
59.
that I can do. That's quick. That's quick. Now let's talk about look at the sub-publisher. This is real quick. This was new to me. Are you familiar with sub-publisher?
Would that be like a publisher who's affiliated with the publisher you're signed to?
Specifically, well, typically this is for foreign.
Oh, interesting.
Stuff.
Explain it to me.
So so I'm let's say I'm a Spanish language artist, but I'm an American.
Okay.
So like
So you're Bad Bunny?
So I'm yes, yeah. So I'm Bad Bunny.
Yes. You really look like Bad Bunny.
Congratulate me on my really landmark year.
It's been a big year for you.
Thank you. I've had a really nice year.
Mr. Bunny.
I didn't want to say it's Mr. Bunny to you. My friends can call me bad, but it's Mr. Bunny to you. I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to use a specific example because like I don't actually know his deal. So let's just say like
you are a generalized.
Generally, I'm a Latin American, and this you'll see why this makes sense. So I'm a Latin American artist.
I'm gonna clip this and be like,
and so I'm because I'm American, I need to be with ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, or G or M.
yes, if you're
But I'm gonna do huge numbers in the Spanish-speaking world in South America and Central America.
Yes.
So that would be an option for me. Then I might have a sub-publisher who's like, all right, so I'm just doing huge numbers in like Mexico City.
So yes.
My American situation is set up the way that's set up, but because I'm gonna do such huge numbers, or I might do huge numbers in like Manila.
Yeah.
So I might
you need someone working that particular market for you and doing publishing and maybe even distribution in a foreign area. That way you have a sub agreement with someone who's going to kind of do that footwork for you in another place.
So that's sub publisher. Let's talk about then the last kind of thing that is out there. We're doing a lot on this.
Yeah.
The last one that's out there is the administration agreement.
Okay.
Are you familiar with these?
Absolutely.
So this would be like
an admin publisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like, I'm not really collecting. I don't own your work.
No, but I will. Okay, so an admin publisher is interesting because they're able to kind of reach across the boundaries that they're usually doing. Usually you wouldn't have an admin publisher unless you already have a moving catalog.
Yep.
There really isn't like enough room for an admin publisher to get in unless you're generating revenue, ideally in more than one country. So probably in more than one global region. So you probably got like streams that are happening in maybe like South American market, but you're also doing physical sales in North America, and you're also doing physical sales in the UK,
and then like maybe like a bunch of sync deals in Europe.
So you want there to be one organization that handles all of your publishing, that handles everything. That's going to be, it kind of is the throughway. It's the one thing that does everything.
So this deal is basically like an extreme, and you could think of it kind of like an extreme co-publishing deal because they are going to take a cut.
Yes.
But it's like a 10%, a 3%
between
cut.
like 10 and 20%. It's possible for it to be like higher, but it's unlikely.
Yeah. So mostly this is like, I'm just kind of doing, you still own your stuff, but like once you get to a big,
like a transaction fee.
Yeah. You're just kind of like, someone's just kind of helping you out because you want to focus on writing songs.
Yeah.
So,
and they're honestly, the other thing I think with this type of deal, I think it can be really useful for someone who was previously in like a big pub deal and is now gone independent, but has a very valuable catalog.
Right.
I think that's often like the situation we're looking at, or like a legacy artist who has a very large catalog, but is now in some type of an independent situation, or an independent, we're going to use air quotes, like if you're at this scale, independent is relative, but maybe you're no longer with Atlantic.
That's such an important point to like emphasize, because just to drill home, I think, because that like, you're never truly independent in the music industry.
The music industry, I said this so many times, but the music industry is a team sport.
Yeah.
This is something we're doing together, where you're almost never ever successful in music by yourself.
Never.
Like pretty much never.
Yeah. And like anybody who represents that they are is probably a liar.
It's probably gaslight. It's probably a lot of gas that's happening and
yeah, this is something we said,
smoke and some mirrors.
something we said long ago, but like there's no DIY, it's DIT. Yeah.
Yes.
So like just that like I'm glad that you said that, because I just think like that needs to be emphasized over and over and over again to the up and comers.
Yeah, and if you're an up and comer, like should I have an admin publisher? Probably no.
No.
Probably no. That's probably not where you're at yet. But if you are an established artist and you've recently moved, or you're like, hey, I really want to get all of my things streamlined, that might be the kind of deal that you're looking at. But it's also going to be a little bit more, you're going to need inroads there.
Yep. A lot of this has to do with leverage.
Yeah.
What kind of leverage do you have in the deal when you're making with your lawyer?
Yes. Hopefully with your music attorney.
Oh God, you're not signing. Please don't sign any of these deals without an attorney. Evans.
ChatGPT is not an attorney. ChatGPT is not your attorney.
All right. So next week we talked about how you get paid as a songwriter. Next week we're going to talk about how you're going to get paid as a performer.
Yes.
So join us next week and stay with us right now, because we've got a lot more news to cover.
It's Payola time.
It's Payola time, baby.
Yes.
So Spotify is being accused of Payola. There's a new lawsuit.
Absolutely. A class action.
Do you want to talk about what the history of Payola is, or do you want me to do it? Because I'm on Wikipedia.
I mean, just real quick,
Yeah.
like I'll give you overview, you give me the deep dive.
Yeah.
So I would say Payola is when you're paying someone to play your music in an unfair way.
A DJ.
Yeah, a DJ. Like you're paying to have your music played. Like the simplest way to think of Payola is pay for play.
Yep. It's it's the common. You got to remember, this is from the 1930s.
Yes.
This is the combination of the word pay and Ola, which was a common product name, such as Pianola, Victriola, Motorola, Crayola, Shinola. This is like what that's about, which is, it's kind of cute. So basically, this was people going on commercial radio from the 30s up until the 50s, where this finally was illegal. I'm sure, although we know it still kind of happens.
Yeah, it still exists.
And basically, like saying, okay, this is the Billboard chart. This is a chart thing. This is this is objectively what's been most requested. Blah blah blah. And then somebody actually slipping somebody some money,
of course,
to slip that song onto a chart where they didn't actually have the numbers to do that chart.
Yes. So I would say walk into like a Chicago DJ, like you're the DJ, and I'd be like, hey Augustus, I got these 10 records. How much is it gonna be for you? Hey, I'm gonna hand you like I hand you $40,000. Yep. And you're gonna play these 10 songs and make sure you play them like at least once every hour.
And that'll influence. And like a lot of times it's like we're like, play this song, tell people this is the number one song in the region, when it's actually not. And then that goes
and it's not yet.
Yeah.
And then through this operation, because I'm not just working with you, I'll go over to a few other DJs, we'll do the same deal. And now my song, which probably might have been at like number 98 or number 36, is now climbing because we've paid to have it everywhere.
Yep. And it hasn't been disclosed.
No. This is a back room under the table deal. I'm not handing you the 40K up here.
Right.
It's getting handed down here.
And I'm not telling you this is a sponsored play.
You found this and loved it.
Yeah.
This is you, man. You're bringing these songs to the people.
So you can see why this is problematic. A class action lawsuit accuses Spotify of engaging in Payola in discovery mode.
Yes. And you know the story with discovery mode?
So this is where it's just supposed to play you the music that it knows you're going to like because of its magic algorithm.
Yes, but you as an artist can opt into discovery mode.
Yep.
And what happens when you do is you lose some of your royalty. I think it's 30%.
Which is insane.
So you lose 30. Like, you're not technically paying Spotify.
Yeah.
You're not paying up front. You're paying in the back end.
Yeah.
So Spotify is just going to pay you 30% less if you want your music to actually be pushed and promoted on the platform. What people are saying is, hey, that sounds a lot like Payola.
Because just like the classic radio Payola, there's no disclosure about which songs are actually
promoted through discovery mode versus what songs are you just discovering organically.
So This lawsuit is a subscriber named Genevieve Capolongo, which argues, quote, Spotify, quote, charges listeners for the privilege of being deceived with discovery mode, creating a, quote, false impression of neutral, personalized recommendations when financial incentives are quietly driving the algorithm. Continuing, despite knowing that Spotify's representations about personalizations were false, Capolongo continues to suffer ongoing harm each time she uses the platform. She still cannot discern which songs are recommended for legitimate editorial or personalized reasons and which are promoted due to undisclosed commercial arrangements. The lawsuit seeks restitution, punitive damages, and a court order requiring Spotify to disclose whether discovery mode is tainted by money or royalty deals.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this is an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
Spotify, of course, says that this isn't the case. They're getting the basic facts wrong. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I've seen that. Spotify is kind of pushing back on this and saying, no, this isn't Payola. This is fine because no actual cash is being you're not paying in advance. You're paying on the back end.
Yeah.
But I think I think it's kind of splitting hairs a little bit.
And it says that they're clearly disclosing that songs are.
But how do you know?
Probably some deep fine print that's buried in there somewhere.
Where though? I think there's a pretty strong argument here to be made. Maybe I'm putting myself out on the branch here, but I think discovery mode kind of fits nicely into this discussion of Payola. I think.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I think this is a problem.
We're gonna watch this story as it unfolds.
We're gonna keep up with it as it develops.
Right now, that's kind of all there is to say about it, and we're kind of leave it at that because we want to get to some very exciting news.
Yes.
The Irish government to pay musicians a basic income of €325 per week by headliner.
This might be my favorite story all week. This is my fucking favorite story.
You lit up when we were talking about this. So I'll give the news and then we'll react to it. Starting in September 2026, the Irish government has announced that it will permanently implement a basic income scheme to support over 2,000 artists, creatives, and musicians. The basic income for artists scheme was piloted in 2022. There was 200 people they initially put it on, but now will become permanent under the 2026 government. It aims to support creative workers and, quote, address the financial instability faced by many working in the arts, end quote, by encouraging artists to apply for a weekly allowance of €325, which will be paid monthly. One of the things is I thought we live in LA. I'm 325 a week isn't that much. So I think it's probably good to just look at what this is.
$1,200-ish a month.
More than that. So for every okay, let's back up. So $325 times 52 weeks in a year is €16,900, which at the current rate. So that's €16,900
per year.
Annually. And then so just breaking that down into dollars, that's about as it stands right now $19,500 a year.
That's really decent.
That's decent, right? So so that comes out to actually about $1,600 a month. Everybody kind of says $1,500 a month, $1,600 a month. That's
really, really nice.
Dude.
I think, especially if we're thinking about this as a supplementary income for you to actually create, for you to help get into the studio, for you to help, hey, maybe I need to pay to promote this month and I don't want it to eat into my food, into being able to buy food. This is that supplementary.
This would be huge.
This is incredible.
The average cost of living in Ireland is $2,626. I found this on the cost of living is a difficult thing to just find.
Yeah, because every city is going to be slightly different.
And America is very different across the regions. We're in a very expensive place to live. So Dublin is very expensive compared to Galway or rural, just like it is in America.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times you find this information, but it's actually geared towards expats and immigrants.
Absolutely.
So we'll just I just want to couch everything I'm about to say.
Yeah,
with
absolutely. Little air quotes around it.
Now, that all being said, the average cost of living in Ireland, according to the research that I got, is about $2,600 a month. So if that's 1,600 out of 2,600, that means that just real, obviously this is real sketchy back of the napkin math.
Yeah,
that means that you need to go off and get $1,000 a month to break even versus 2,600 a month.
Yeah.
What the hell? That's insane.
That's incredible.
So you are a big UBI girl.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've been a fan of universal basic income since before we called it universal basic income. I believe I think a lot of countries have used UBI plans as a way to stimulate certain parts of their economy.
Yep.
Like when we see Ireland doing this smaller program, obviously this isn't covering every citizen. This is covering every musician, which is super
2,000
cool.
musicians.
2,000 musicians currently.
Yeah.
Or like the one thing I didn't really jump into with this article, was this something where you would need to apply to this program?
Yep.
And then you would get it?
You apply.
Okay.
And I did want to say, so it's 2,000 musicians in the 2026 budget. They said if they could make it up to 2,200 this year, but they're obviously hoping to expand that. That's got to be a
fairly large percentage of the music making community in Ireland.
I would think so. And by the way, you mentioned something about like how that I had the number for this. About like the money that they put into UBI actually stimulates the economy.
Yes, it does.
For every €1 of public funding invested, this was from the pilot program that started in 2022. For every €1 of public funding invested, the scheme delivered €1.39 in return.
Yes.
So it actually generates money.
Absolutely.
And this we talk about this
all the time
about how like we forget because we're as musicians how we get squeezed and like extracted and everything. But the truth is that music is good for the culture and the economy.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and like whether you're thinking about music as like a cultural export, like it's really interesting. Like right now, if you go back in time, the U.S. exported so much musical culture everywhere, everywhere across the globe. And right now, I think places like Korea are exporting a ton of musical culture. But somewhere like Ireland, this program could help Ireland export more culture. So maybe in 5 or in 10 years, we're seeing on the global stage more music coming from Ireland. Because those artists who are there in that, like in Ireland, trying to push their music out, but maybe feeling like, hey, I don't have time to spend a bunch of hours trying to reach out to Korean or American or whoever it is, whatever pub deal you're looking for from Ireland, you're going to have what is it, 1.6? Like 1.6 more time that you're not spending at your day job or waitressing or doing whatever you were doing, like just to survive.
Think about this. Let's say, so we did our quick little net. Let's say that I need $2,600 a month to kind of to get by.
Yeah. Our napkin math.
So I now I know 1,600 of that is covered.
Yeah.
Now
that's like way more than half.
Dude, I'm thinking the difference between me having to like struggle, suffer, eat shit, sleep on like late nights, early mornings to make 2,600 a month every single month. That's a tall
just for survival.
Order. Now taking that same level of effort, and I need to make 1,000 a month.
Yeah,
that's way more doable.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's like more than half of your cost is covered.
Dude, there's such a barrier if you don't have another source of income behind you. There's such a barrier because America is so unforgiving, as we all know. So it's like even if I could get to a place where it's like, all right, I can make 1,500 a month, but it's like not worth it for me to make 1,500 a month as a musician, because as a full-time musician, because how do I make the other 3,000 that I need to survive?
Live, that I just need to live, that I need to pay my rent, to go get groceries, to go keep my car running, like to do the basic things. So no, I think this is a huge step forward.
Really exciting.
I think it'll be awesome for us to be able to go in over time and see, like you said, for every $1, they made like $1.60.
137.
Yeah, 137
euro,
for us to see. In euros. So that's incredible. I'm excited to see how this continues to grow over time. It'll give us more data, more data for maybe us to do something like this here. Maybe something like this here in California or here in the whole U.S. would be amazing.
I mean, like even LA County could do something like this.
I think San Francisco did. San Francisco had a UBI program. It was specific.
They did. Yeah. A lot of times they want, like in America, of course, they want to give these UBI programs to like the poorest of the poor.
Yes.
Which is great.
Which is a great way to start. But as we can see from this, you can see like how much revenue can be generated just by supporting people at their base needs.
You can kind of think of like America is this wealthy nation.
Where
why can't I be a part of the trust fund? Like, what the fuck?
I'm sorry, it's locked up. It's not for you.
Yeah, no, it really isn't.
It's not for you. You weren't born into the right nepotistic group. Unfortunately, it won't be for you.
Yeah, wrong zip code, bitch. So,
sorry, you needed 900. 90210. That's what you needed.
So this is like a model I think we're gonna watch. I think I think we're gonna see Irish music, as you said, kind of gain a new place of prominence. We're going to see a lot of great new Irish exports. Canada has a program. It's not a UBI program, but one of the reasons why there's so many great Canadian artists.
Yes. You mean like Drake?
Like Drake and friend of the pod, Justin Bieber, is because they have a program where it's like if you make a certain amount of records, and it's a low amount of record sales, you get an automatic grant and you make a ton of money.
Oh, that's incredible.
Not a ton, but you make a realistic amount of money that the Canadian government gives you to support the funds.
I didn't know about that.
Dude, like basically it's amazing because it's like you go around the world and it's like all these countries support their musicians.
You know who also has a UBI program that exists right now in the US? Alaska.
Right, off their oil revenues.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not like, this isn't crazy. This isn't outlandish. This isn't like, oh my God, this is impossible. We couldn't do it in America. Right. Oh my God, we're too... No, this is doable.
We put a man on the moon and or fooled the entire country for entire world for 60 years that we put a man on the moon. Both of which are impressive achievements.
Either way.
If we can do that, we can deliver UBI for people, including musicians.
Yes. I fucking love that. We gotta get it going.
Yeah. So, and again, like if you want to be a part of somebody who's actually promoting this, UMA is your place to go.
Yes.
They're doing a lot of great work about this, and they're on top of this news. So, like, if you want this to happen here, support UMA.
Okay.
Kanye.
Yeah.
All right. So, as pretty much anybody who follows the media knows and pop culture knows, Kanye for the last
5 years
at least has been a piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely not like been feeling great.
No.
There's a lot less pride when you listen to the Ye song.
Yeah. Kanye had to come out of a lot of people's rotation.
Yeah, I feel like since like, what is it? Like Jesus is King, right before that, what was the record that came up before that one? Was like, it wasn't called Black Skinhead, but it was the one that had it.
Yeah, that was Yeezus.
Yeah, right? Yeezus, I feel like was the last time we got saved.
I was just
that was like the decline into
that's insanity. When I get, and he started putting out some bad stuff anyway. Then he was like a kind of like low-key anti-Semitic.
Oh yeah,
high-key. Then he was high-key anti-Semitic. Then he became like
an actual KKK wearing hat.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to be a Nazi, which is a vibe.
That's a move.
So Kanye West has issued a public apology to Rabbi Pinto for his anti-Semitic remarks.
Yes, I thought this would be interesting for us to talk about and just to react to, because like, okay, this kind of spawns a conversation here of like apologies, right? Like in the music space, like, you know, like do you remember the girl? She did like a ukulele apology. Oh, this is a whole story. I think I'm gonna forget her name, but she was like a big YouTuber.
Okay,
and she had been in her DMs like essentially like giving her panties to like underage kids.
Oh shit!
And
no, I didn't know any of this.
She then made an apology video where she sang her apology on ukulele.
Okay.
And she was like, "It's the toxic gossip train," and people were just. They hated it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't sincere, right?
Trivializing your apology.
Yes, trivializing. And it's just like, hey, look, this is actually gross what you did.
Yeah.
And you can't just like create like a kitschy, like salty song.
Okay. I know that we say that like it all starts with a good song.
Yes.
That the limits to that might be you cannot issue an apology, a sincere and effective apology in song form. That might be the limits of that.
Yes. No, let me just show you a quick clip of this. This is Colleen Ballinger.
Okay.
And her apology.
This isn't what we're reacting to.
This is not what we're reacting to today, but I do feel like it's important for you to just get a sense of.
So she's a white girl with bangs. She got a ukulele.
And this is like a proper apology. Like you needed to do this. Like.
It's been a while since I saw my face. I haven't been doing so great, so I took a little break. A lot of people are saying some things about me that aren't quite true. Doesn't matter if it's true though. Just as long as it's entertaining.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like we don't need to do any more. But the chorus of the song is that everyone is on the toxic gossip train.
All aboard the toxic gossip train.
and that you are all gossiping and talking about her in this way that obviously makes her upset, and obviously she's now apologizing for what she shouldn't have to apologize for.
But she was engaging in sex acts with minors.
Yeah. Yep. But you're all just on the toxic gossip train. You need to let it go. All
right.
You need to let it go, August. I think this is kind of, obviously Kanye isn't apologizing in song.
Yeah.
But I think he's kind of performatively apologizing.
Well, let's check it out.
So yeah, let's see it. We'll talk about it more afterwards.
Take accountability.
Take accountability. Was he translating?
I was dealing with some various issues. Bipolar also. So it would take the ideas I had.
So should we talk about they're at a table.
Yeah.
It's Kanye, a dude with a yarmulke, and who's translating between him and a rabbi who's got like the crazy rabbi beard.
Oh yeah, he's full rabbi.
He's got like I don't know the words. He's got like a headdress on.
Traditional.
And he's apologizing. He's saying it's
explaining
his
that it has to do with his bipolar.
Kanye's got a hat on. And the rabbi's just listening.
It's like if you left the house and you left your kid at the house, and your kid went and messed up the kitchen, and messed up the garage, and messed up the living room. Now when you get back,
he sounds contrite.
It's your responsibility because that's your job.
Cameraman's laughing.
I gotta go clean up the kitchen. I gotta clean up the living room. I gotta clean up the garage.
Someone in Kanye's entourage is laughing.
Yeah,
someone off camera.
It's a big deal for me as a man to come and take accountability for all the things that I've said, and I really just appreciate you.
It is a big deal for him. He's been
open arms and allowed
he fights fire with fire.
Yeah, Kanye is a Gemini.
Yeah, he does not step down when he gets kind of backed into a corner. He fights harder.
He does.
Now the rabbi speaking.
Judaism brought to the world a way for someone when he regret about something that he has done wrong. And the Jews live in this way of if someone did something wrong, he can regret and fix it.
So he's saying
you can have the redemption.
Yeah.
And hugging everybody.
That Judaism, there's a place in Judaism for forgiveness.
From now on, strong things and good things.
It seems like this rabbi is accepting the apology.
Yeah.
At least from a visual standpoint.
Yeah.
It seems
they're
like this
they're
is
like holding.
holding hands.
They're
like
going to it, right?
Yes. Like there's
now they're hugging, hugging it out, which is probably a big deal for Kanye. He's pretty masculine, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted to talk about this. Like, does this feel like enough? Does this feel like are we over it? Are we done?
No.
Does this forgive all of the crazy Kanye stuff?
No. One of the things that I said in a video on my Instagram a couple years ago, an apology is not an event; it is a process.
I love that. An apology is not an event. It is a process.
That is me, by the way. So
I love that.
I'll take the attribution for that. But anyway,
from Apology King, yes, I love that.
So, Bray, what does that mean to you?
I think it means that just because you said you're sorry, it's all about the actions that you create after that moment.
Yep.
The apology itself isn't the forgiveness. It's all the things that have led up and that happen afterwards. That.
It's about repair.
Yeah.
It's not just like, okay, the way I think about it is like, so I'm at your house and I spill a big glass of wine, a red wine on your white carpet.
Okay.
And I go, I'm sorry. And I sit there and I watch the wine spill and it's just soaking into the fibers of your white carpet.
I'm sorry you're sorry, but it'd be great if you could like get the OxyClean really quickly and just put some of that on there, or maybe even just like grab a paper towel and try to absorb some of it. I understand you're sorry, but show me how Show me what that looks like.
Show me what you want to do to repair that. Like that's what I mean by an event. Like it's the process of the event versus the process. The process of all those things, helping getting a paper towel, helping getting some OxyClean, paying for a steam cleaner or whatever.
Yes.
Right? That's what you do to actually show contrition. And then the carpet example is trivial, but you do things to repair trust.
Yeah.
Maybe next time I come over, I bring like an untippable wine glass over.
Yeah, put it in a baby bottle for you.
Yeah. Maybe I'm drinking Sprite over at the crib for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Just to make it okay. Mm-hmm. These are the kind of things that would show a level of contrition and ownership of the problem, not just holding hands.
Kanye having created, kind of saying all the things that he said, kind of moving the way that he's moved. Do you think there's anything that he can do? Like, I think previously before the podcast, we were talking about like artists like Michael Jackson or other artists who have had like historic moments or even Travis Scott and Astroworld, when you have these huge horrifying events that the media clearly says, hey, this is not good. Yeah. This is not acceptable. Is there any way to repair that relationship with your audience? And at least for Kanye, is this enough, or what would be enough?
I'm not Jewish, so I can't, there's a part of this identity that I just really can't speak to, of course.
But he's created not just what he said about Jewish people, but he said a lot of really inappropriate things that I think none of us want to stand by.
It's going to take me... and I like Kanye,
historically.
Yeah. Like I liked Kanye. I liked his work.
Yeah. His work was incredible.
So it would take a lot for me to come around to Kanye at this point.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think it's really interesting because I do believe in second chances. I believe like, hey, when you do things right, like we can come back and listen to things and hear your perspective. But this seems like a pattern. This seems like something that this feels, at least to me, and maybe I'm being too harsh here, but this feels performative to me. This feels like, hey, I got a rabbi to listen to me and listen to me say that it's okay. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen this, but there's there's this video of like the "it's okay, brother." Like just gives me like two white guys.
He's not just like a rabbi. He's like a mega rabbi. He only speaks Hebrew. He's like rabbi as fuck.
Yes, he's going all in, and to have the translation going in. Yeah. That also makes me feel a little uncomfortable with the translation. How much is this guy really getting of what Kanye is saying? Is there anything being lost in how much was this guy aware of what happened previously? This isn't like, hey, I'm going to do a conversation with the New York Times with someone who's super educated about everything that I've said and have a deep conversation.
And a conversation isn't even enough.
No.
Right? Like I think like for Kanye and for somebody with Kanye's resources, like a couple of media appearances, that will say that, like, to your question of like, would I believe him or would I accept it? Like that's not enough for me, like for you to like do like some publicity seeking things as a publicity seeking person.
Yeah.
I would want to, I want
to see your actions.
Yeah. So like just name some ideas. I don't even know, but like maybe I want to see you go away for a while.
I want to see you pay money back to the community. I want to see you create some kind of reparations for the damage that you've created.
I think that's important.
I want to see you at least officially take back some of the things that you said, especially in your music.
Real ownership,
right?
Yeah.
Like take ownership of the things that were said. And I think this is true for any artist. This doesn't have to be specific to Kanye.
Yeah.
But I think for any artist who's hoping to kind of like make an apology and come back to an audience who's maybe been hurt by what you said or hurt by what you did, I think a big part of it is showing ownership, being like very clear, hey, I said these particular things. I made these actions, and these are more than one way, ideally, more than one action that I will be taking to, like, whether that's financially to give back in ways that I've damaged. Like for Kanye, I'd like to see you donating money,
significant
lots of money, like not 100,000, not 200,000, not 1 million. I want to see you donating significant parts of your wealth that you've generated, your estate, to repair the relationships that you've damaged.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Jewish community accepts this or
Kanye
doesn't.
Isn't Jewish. Kanye is historically very Christian. Yeah, Jesus is king. Yeah, this is Kanye's stance. So I do want to see how this plays out into the future.
Yep.
And I don't think Kanye's back. You know,
No.
to wrap it up in a little mini bow, I just don't think Kanye's back, and I think it's going to take a lot more. Adidas won't be knocking anytime soon.
No, I
to
don't
make the
think this
deal
gets-
again.
I don't think this is like the return of the Yeezys.
No.
Don't leave them in your closet if you've been saving them for a rainy apology day. I don't think this is it.
This is not the one.
Hang on to those. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right, Kanye.
All right.
She makes white people who play ukulele
Look
like
bad.
that.
Look at that. Pulling up the uke, feeling embarrassed now. All because of Colleen Bellinger.
All right, my friends. Thank you for joining us for another edition of, what are we called?
The Wholesome
Music.
Music Podcast.
Oh, that's us. I highly recommend that you obliterate that like button.
Yes. Hit the
De-
subscribe.
Decimate that subscribe
Ooh,
button.
I like that.
Just demolish the hype button.
Yes. If you see it, be on mobile. Real quick. With the hype, I noticed you're not going to get the hype button unless you're
Okay.
on mobile. So if you fucking love this and you really want to support us, go ahead and open this on your phone. I'll wait. Okay, open it
Okay.
on your phone and then hit the hype. It should be underneath the video because, you know, we're small. Help us get big.
Absolutely pulverize the 5 stars on your podcast
Yes.
app. Just give us you could take out your aggression on the media
Brutalize
app.
it.
Whatever app you're using right now, let it feel all of your angst as you use it to give the app a little bit of positive feedback about us.
Yes.
Here at the Wholesome Music Podcast. We're going to be back next week. We're going to talk about
will.
how performers get paid. This will be
Yeah.
part 3 of our little music industry situation.
Breakdown. Music industry business breakdown.
Meanwhile, it is Mercury retrograde and Jupiter retrograde.
That's right.
Be
Safe.
The energy's weird. Be safe. Take care of each other. Give each other a little bit of extra grace right now.
Yes.
Besides the fact that 2025 is just a really hard year.
I don't know what you mean. It's
this
been
is-
so easy. Everything's gone so well. Politics has been great.
Yep.
Everything's been going
My
normally.
personal life has been awesome. Just give yourselves all a little more time and a little more patience. This coming up, and just love each other, y'all.
Yes.
We're gonna see you next week.
We'll see you next week.